So here we are logged onto the server. As you can see, I've renamed my computer, given it a static IP, and set my time zone. Very important for domain controllers to be properly set up in regards to timing. We'll then swing over to the dashboard, choose Add Rules and Features, and we get the same wizard we had back in Server 2008 land. We're going to hit Next, and they've kind of divided it up into roles and features and versus VDI virtualization. So they've got quite a different branch, or we have different paths we can take with the server roles. So the next screen is to actually select specifically your server, or what's cool about Windows 8 is you can target other servers. In this case, we've only got one server. So we're going to move on to the server roles page, which is, again, like 2008. We're going to be looking for the Active Directory domain services. We're going to check the box. It's going to, prompt us that other prerequisites will be installed as well. Add the features. Next to the and the rest of the stuff, well, we don't need to add anything at this point. We're just looking for a domain controller role, so just the defaults are good. And there's a checkbox up here for if you're targeting another machine and you're adding roles to it, and you want that machine to do a reboot automatically, you can check that. Otherwise, it might sit there. And we hit install. So I'm going to pause the video and we'll come back. So at this point, the adding of the domain services role has completed. So we have a close button here. So now that the role is installed, you'll notice on the left-hand side an ADDS option. In here is your Active Directory servers listed. Of course, I've only got one right now. So instead of running dcpromo, we now come up here to the action flag, Action Center, and there's a post-deployment task here that needs to be done, promoting this server to a domain controller. So we can just click on this link. It'll run us through the standard Active Directory wizard we've known the previous versions of server. In this case here, we're going to be adding a new forest. We're going to create a root forest. In this case, mine's BCS.local. We'll hit next. Now, we've got the forest and domain functional as before, previous versions, but Windows Server 8 Beta at this point, I believe, as I've heard, is not actually making any changes. You definitely don't want to do this in production environment, just in case the forest functional level or domain functional level is not, release client. So I personally like to stick to the Windows 2008. And yes, I want it to be a DNS server as well, typical. Directory services restore mode password, just in case we have a problem with our domain controller later. In this case, we're going to skip DNS delegation. We're now looking for a net bias name on the network. BCS it is. No need to change that. Typical database log sysvol folder locations. We'll just leave default. And you see on the summary screen here, interesting is the view script. So we could actually just copy and paste this line by line into PowerShell. I've also got an example up here of. So I'm going to just finish off using the wizard here. And as you can see, it's going to go through some prereqs checks. There's some standard typical warnings for pre-release product, beta product. We're going to go ahead and because all prereqs did pass, these are just warnings, we can go ahead and actually do the install now. So I'm going to pause the video, and when we come back, we'll finish off. So at this point, the server's rebooted itself. As you can see in the dashboard here, there's some new sections for Active Directory and DNS. And it's green, so we're in the good. So what we can do is just to check out Active Directory, we can run our DSA. Active Directory users computers will show up, and you can see that looks like we've got a fully functional domain controller. So to see the changes that Microsoft's made in the server manager, you'll notice that there is a node on the left for ADDS, which show us our servers and events for our service. And also the services that for the system as well. From here, you'll notice the best practice analyzer is still included. We can start a BPA scan and see what it wants us to do. So the best practice analyzer is finished now. You'll notice that there is at least a couple items in here, typical of a clean install. I see a couple things to do with DNS. We'll discuss these in a further video.